Today we have a wonderful topic, and the topic is called surrender. It's a very difficult word because nobody ever tells us what surrender should look like. So it's something that we were born with, something that we ever never were told what it is like and why we should surrender. So today we are going to talk a little bit about, what does surrender actually feel like and what it is that we need to surrender. So starting with, what does surrender look like? Already we know that everything that happens in life is not how we planned it. So we planned everything in such a way that, sometimes we want to go here, but the route only opens up for here. And then we are always constantly, cribbing about, oh, I actually wanted to do that, but how that never happened. And now look, I'm stuck doing this, whether it be a career choice or sometimes it be a spouse choice. We wanted to go ahead and marry somebody else, but then here we are, that didn't work out. And then we are constantly complaining about how things are not working out for us. So basically the body plans, but something else happens. So where is it that something else is happening from? By now everybody in this group should know the answer. It's happening from your energy field. So as it happens from our energy field, and we are not even aware of it. We came with this energy pot, our energy field, and things are playing out from there, and we have no choice but to follow it. So basically, we have no choice but to surrender to it. And we, on the day that we are born, we are surrendered to. We are totally surrendered to our own energy field. And so, and it's just that nobody ever told us. Why? Because that's our unaware state. So we talk about an unaware state, and then we talk about an aware state. What is the unaware state? The unaware state is when things happen to us and we don't know where they're happening from. Now we know that they're happening from our energies, the energies that we are carrying for a million gazillion years. But at that point in time, when things simply keep happening to us and we are constantly stuck in the question phase, yes, we are already in surrender even then. So when people come to me and say, oh, I need to learn surrender. Well, you don't need to learn surrender. You already just need to know that you are in surrender. You are in unaware surrender. You don't know that it's your energy that's creating everything for you, and you simply bow to that energy of yours and you move in that direction. So then comes the aware surrender. What's awareness all about? You start to see that everything that you are doing is happening from the energies. And now, every once in a while, you're able to tweak your energies just a little bit. How do you do that? Of course, you give away those very same emotions that are bothering you. And this time, you start to give away to the candle. What's happening? You feel sad. Now, instead of sitting in sadness, you start to give your sadness to the candle. You feel angry. Instead of sitting in that anger, now you start to give that anger to the candle. Now, what is it that you are doing? In awareness, you are surrendering your emotions to the candle. Yep, that's what we teach, right? The positivity process, that you just simply have to talk to a candle, talk to me if you feel like it, talk to money, talk to your favorite gods and goddesses, but simply hand over your emotions to them. What do you think you are doing? You are actually surrendering your emotions to them. That's what that whole candle process is about. So, the day that you walk into the MPFY workshop and you learn about the positivity process, then what is it that you are doing? Instead of an unaware surrender, this time now in awareness, you take note of your emotions, and there you go. You start to drop them into the candle, you surrender them to the candle. And then comes this third state, and I'm going to call it the naked state. And what is the naked state? Because each of these emotions that come to you, where are they sitting? They're sitting in your energies field. And what starts to happen? The more you become aware of those emotions, the more you're able to see. The more you're able to see what's creating this moment for you. If outside there is total chaos and there is lots of commotion and friction happening with three people, with five people, then you know where this creation was from. And then what happens? In that naked state, you refuse to pick up a role. You actually simply are able to watch the emotion, you're able to give it away, and now that emotion is there no more. Now that the emotion is not getting triggered in you because you have released it enough. What's happened? Your pot is becoming empty. Your energy field is now simply becoming an empty space. Many of you, when you come into this path and then I tell you take guidance, you start to sit in complete blankness a few times for a few minutes. And then what happens? That blankness bothers you. You say, oh, no, no, I don't know why I'm not receiving answers. I don't know why I'm not getting this poetry and these writings like everybody else is getting. All that I get is blankness. Well, guess what? That blankness is actually the naked state. It's when your surrender is also complete, when there exists no you. There is nobody, because each of these roles that you have to pick up, whether you're a mother, you're a father, you're a CEO in the office, you're somebody or the other, but these are simply roles. What is your journey? The journey is to empty yourself of your emotions. And when those emotions are emptied and you pick up none of those roles, you simply sit, you live, you're just sitting and watching all of this Mahabharat happen, and you're able to happily play your part. Whether your part is that of a hero or a villain, it no longer triggers you inside. And that's the naked state. So, what's happening? Where does surrender feature in all of this? It features somewhere in between the aware state to the naked state. At the naked state, the one that you've surrendered to and the surrenderee and the surrendered become one. There is no two available. You can't see any of them. You are not even the witness to whatever is happening. You happily sit in a blank state. Does it happen? Yes, it does happen. It happens very easily in me frequencies. You've been given, the taste of that a few times. And then what is that's your job? Your job is to keep tuning into these energies and keep tasting a little bit more of that blankness. That blankness comes with a deep peace inside, peace at all times, bliss at all times. And guess what? Yes, this is what bliss looks like. Bliss doesn't look like constantly on a high. You will be there many times. You'll be constantly on a high for days and days and days. And yet, that's joy. There will come a time when you will be able to see joy also and surrender that too. You will not be attached to joy either. Right now, the first step that we ask for is simply your surrender of the emotions that are bothering you. Keep the joy with you. Right now, it's not the time to start surrendering that. It will happen on its own. So that's how we move. We move from an unaware state, we move to an aware state, and then we move to a naked state. We do not pick up these costumes. These costumes, these roles that we have to play, we simply do the role play without picking up the costume, without getting into the emotions of those costumes. Couple of stories now, always time for stories. So as I, this story has been mentioned a few times, but somebody who came to me and said, Meenal, I was going to miss a flight. I wanted to, catch this flight. I was on the way to the flight, and then there was tons of traffic on the road. So I said to Money, I'm surrendered to you. Now please make me catch this flight. Well, that's not surrender. What is surrender is not that, okay, I'm surrendered to you. What does that even mean? What did you give to money? And then what is it that you are demanding from him in lieu of that surrender? Well, surrender is simply that I give and then you give whatever it is that you want to give to me. If I give my anger to you and tomorrow you give me even more anger, you make me experience even more anger, even that is okay, because you've given it to me and I'm surrendered to you. When I'm surrendered to you, I simply take everything as a gift from you. And that's what surrender looks like. It's not a transaction that, okay, I'm giving you this and now you better give me that. Well, sometimes money will give you that and then you'll feel really happy. But just understand that that's not surrender. Money is simply humoring you. You're the little child and he humors you with that. But that's not the meaning of surrender. So as we move along in the journey and we start to understand that each emotion simply has a role to play, and once we are experienced it, we are done with experiencing it, we can give it away. And that's the choice, that it becomes our choice to give away that emotion after experiencing it. Remember, we are not running away from any emotion. Surrender is when even we might get the same emotion of sadness, of anger, anything back again, and simply again accepting it as a gift from money. Now, for how long do we need to experience it? Do we need to experience it for a minute, or do we need to experience it for 5 days, 5 years? Well, in unawareness, we need to experience it and sit deeper and deeper into that experience. But once we understand that in awareness, energies don't play in time and space. So you can simply experience it for a few minutes, give the full value to that experience. I'm feeling sad. I'm going to sit over here and experience this sadness in totality. I'm going to experience this sadness completely. And now I'm done. And now I choose to surrender this sadness again to money. So he will give you something. And what will you do? You will take it and surrender it back to him once you are done experiencing that. So that's what surrender works like. And you guys are already doing it with the candle. The candle is already there. All right, going back to the topic of surrender. I have Mitali here with us today, and she received a poetry from Money. So, yesterday this happened that she received a poetry from Money, and the poetry is in Hindi. And so, I've invited her to talk to us about it. Mitali, are you there?
Yeah, audible?
Okay. Yes, audible. And I'm just going to put you on. Let me pin your video, please, so I can record you. Yes, darling. Done. Okay.
Hi everyone. So this is what I received from surrender yesterday. तू क्या है बस एक अक्स मेरा तेरा क्या है जो है ना मेरा तेरी सांसें तेरे रिश्ते तेरे नाते तेरे दायरे तेरे वादे तेरी यादें तेरी बातें तेरी मुश्किल तेरी मुस्कान तेरी उलझन और परेशानी क्यों ना देखे इनके परे एक सुंदर सी दुनिया बसाई है मैंने तेरे लिए तेरे भय और कश्मकश को रख परे इस दुनिया मेरी दुनिया में कदम रख कहाँ तेरे भीतर पूरा ब्रह्मांड और उसकी खुशी पूरा आसमान पूरी धरती पूरा समंदर है तेरे लिए और तू गुम इस बाहर की छोटी छोटी चिंताओं और उम्मीदों में सब भूल जा सब छोड़ दे कुछ है ही नहीं तेरा सब है मेरा मेरा मुझको अर्पण कर तू कभी थी ही नहीं तो ये परेशानियां है ही कहाँ बस दिमाग की उलझन है देख तो सही ये असलियत में कहाँ जैसे एक बुरा ख्वाब पर तू हकीकत माने जो माने वो ही दिखे यही है सारा खेल अब समझी कि और समझाऊं खुश रहना है इतना सरल फिर भी कठिन समझ ढूंढती फिरे खुशी को है तेरे ही अंदर ना चाहिए घर ये गाड़ी ना चाहिए पैसा या पति ना चाहिए बच्चे या माता पिता ना चाह नाम या औहदा सब अर्पण कर और आ जा, कब से तेरी राह देखता। सब अर्पण कर, सब अर्पण कर और घुल जा अंदर की दुनिया में, मेरी दुनिया में। फिर देख वही बाहर के नजारे लगे कितने प्यारे। असमंजस, बस हंसी खुशी बीते ये जीवन। सब अर्पण, सब अर्पण, सब surrender. I surrender. I surrender.
So
Thank you.
beautiful, so wonderful, so amazing. So, as you read, as Mitali read out the poem, and what is it that it is being asked of from us? Is he asking us to give away all our happiness? On the contrary, he's actually asking us to surrender all that makes us unhappy and to go within and go within and empty the pot. Okay, I see some messages. Okay. But then, how will we fit ambitions here? So, somebody asks, how will we fit ambitions here? As Mitali was writing this, I was also receiving the same poetry or a similar poetry on surrender, also in Hindi, and this was sometime yesterday. So I'm going to read my section now, only simply because somebody asked, where does ambition fit into all of this? All right. So for that, समर्पण करो मुझको तुम, मैंने कब ये मांगा तुमसे। क्यों समर्पण करो मुझे तुम, किसने कहा तुम्हें समर्पण करना है। क्या दोगे तुम मुझे, क्या है जो तुम्हारा है। क्या ये शरीर तुम्हारा है, ये तुम्हारा शरीर जिसके बारे में तुम्हें कुछ पता ही नहीं। क्यों ये बना, कैसे बना, कहाँ से आया, क्यों ही आया। क्या ये शरीर तुम्हारा है जो तुम मुझे दोगे। अरे तुम तो खुद ही इसे छोड़ दोगे। क्या दोगे तुम मुझे, क्या है जो तुम्हारा है। क्या ये दौलत तुम्हारी है, ये दौलत जिसके बारे में तुम्हें कुछ पता ही नहीं। क्यों ये बनी, किसने तुम्हें दी, क्यों आई तुम्हारे पास। कहाँ से आए, कहाँ से आई, कहाँ जाएगी अगली घड़ी। क्या ये दौलत तुम्हारी है जो तुम मुझे दोगे। अरे तुम तो खुद ही इसे छोड़ दोगे। क्या दोगे तुम मुझे, क्या है जो तुम्हारा है। क्या ये रिश्ते तुम्हारे हैं, ये रिश्ते जिनके बारे में तुम्हें कुछ पता ही नहीं। कब ये बने, कैसे बने, किसने बनाए, किस जन्म से आए। क्या ये रिश्ते तुम्हारे हैं जो तुम मुझे दोगे। अरे तुम तो खुद ही इन्हें छोड़ दोगे। क्या दोगे तुम मुझे, क्या है जो तुम्हारा है। चलो मैं ही मांग लेता हूं तुमसे वो जो तुम्हारा है। तुम्हारे विचार, उनमें बसी तुम्हारी ढेरों इच्छाएं, दैट्स द एम्बिशंस। उनसे जुड़े तुम्हारे सपने, दैट्स योर ड्रीम्स। उनसे लगा तुम्हारा लगाव, दैट्स योर अटैचमेंट्स। उससे जुड़ा तुम्हारा दर्द, उससे भरे तुम्हारी आंखों में आंसू। लाओ कर दो समर्पण ये सब, हाँ ये सब तुम्हारा है। सदियों से लेकर चल रहे हो तुम अपने अरमानों की गठरी का भार। और मैं कहता हूं तुमसे, सुस्ता लो तुम, थक गए होगे इस बोझे को उठाते। बोझा है भारी और डाल रखा है तुमने इसे अपने कांधे पर, थक गए होगे। और जैसे ही मैं तुम्हें ये कहता हूं, तुम शक की निगाहों से देखते हो मुझे। कैसे दे दूं तुम्हें मैं अपने सपने, अपने अरमान। इनको पूरा करने का जिम्मा मेरा है। अगर तुम्हें सौंप दिए और तुम इन्हें पूरा करना भूल गए तो रह जाएगा ना मेरा जीवन फिर से अधूरा। और मैं हंसता हूं, ठहाके लगाता हूं। 100 जन्म के बाद भी तुम समझ न पाए। सपनों को पूरा करना काम तुम्हारा कभी था ही नहीं, वो तो मेरा काम था। लेकिन तुमने छीन लिया मुझसे वो बोझा, ये सोच के कि सपने पूरे हो जाएंगे तो मस्ती आएगी, और मैं तुमसे करने चला था सौदा कि सपने आज ही दे दो तो मैं मस्ती आज ही थमा दूं। लेकिन सौदा तुम्हें समझ न आया और तुम निकल पड़े एक बार फिर एक और नाटक में पात्रता निभाने, किसी के माया जाल में फंसने, खुद को रिझाने। जाओ तुम, थोड़ा और घूम के आओ। जब समझ आ जाए तुम्हें ये माया जाल, तो ले आना अपनी गठरी मेरे पास और कर देना समर्पण मुझे। समझ जाओगे उस दिन तुम कि सपनों का सौदा करना कितना फायदेमंद रहा तुम्हें। ओम मणि। So that's the answer to what about your ambition? What about your state of desires? What about your dreams? Fulfilled, unfulfilled. What is it that it gets to you? Sometimes, when fulfilled, it'll get you joy. If not fulfilled, it gets you a lot of pain. So now, as you understood from this poem, it's not your job to put in your ambitions and to keep dreaming. And it's just simply your job. It's simply your job to understand that when you surrender, you will not just receive that, you will receive something much greater, much higher, something that you don't even know the value of, because your conscious mind, your dreams are just so limiting. What you will get instead of your dreams is bliss instead. But yes, if you don't want bliss, if you run around some more, you can keep getting into more attachments and receiving whatever is there. As Mani said to me, घूमते रहो थोड़ा और, and then when you understand that it's what it's that you look, what it is that you're looking after. Now, after reading from Mani, all my blah 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 mouth is getting all jungled up and jumbled up. But here it is. What it is that you're looking for, you're actually looking for peace of mind. Because what if your ambitions never come true? What is it going to bring to you? So it's actually just the peace of mind that each of us are looking for. We're looking for bliss. And we think that the bliss is going to come from the fulfillment of the ambition. And Mani says, no, take the bliss today. He is ready to give you that bliss today. Are you ready to receive it? If you are ready to receive it, then sit and surrender. Many people talk about surrender in a very funny kind of a way. You are somebody who's extremely successful, and many times they will simply say, oh, this is all just a gift of God, this is all from God. But when their success is taken away and they come into failures, then the fingers don't point towards God. Then the fingers are pointing, blaming, he's responsible for my failure, or that I made this wrong move. Why bother? Whatever you surrender, if it came from him and he takes it back, then what's the big deal? Why do you blame anybody else? Why do you not simply sit and put on that shame, that feeling of failure also? Why don't you surrender that to him as well? He's there to empty your pot, not just out of shame, not just out of guilt, not just out of failure, but also out of all of these things which are called pride and putting somebody else down, resentment, jealousy, etc., etc., etc. And what happens when we start to surrender? We start to come more and more into oneness. We come more and more into oneness, and actually that brings me to the message that I was told to put down, to share with you. It's a message that came to me almost 2 years ago when I was being taught how to surrender. It's a personal message, so there is of course mention of Meenal and money. And because money was my father in this life, so there's constantly a reference to that as well. You will understand the message. It will resonate with you as well. So I talk about surrender. So money says to me, to experience complete surrender is your intent for this life, your purpose for this life. Some with that intent will walk with you. Others might choose to walk with you, yet others might choose to explore other avenues. You can only teach surrender. That is your path for this life. You were always surrendered to money in physical form and now in the energetic form. Nothing changed. Even in the physical, when you surrendered to him, he surrendered to you. In the energies, it's the same story. Every intent that he made for you, makes for you, becomes your intent because you are surrendered. You allow those intents to become yours. This is what he talks about when we leave our own personal ambitions, then money is free to create some ambitions for us. And so that's what is the intent. So I repeat again, every intent that he made for you, makes for you, becomes your intent because you are surrendered. You allow those intents to become yours. That is your journey. To trust those intents and to become fearless in that trust, that faith, in that frequency of the Father, knowing that nothing can be greater than love. That is what he taught you how to love. As your father in the body, he taught you how to love. When you take that love forward to many others, measure on the same scale. Do you love them as money loved you? As money showed you how to? If not, then you know that you have work to do. In everyone to everyone, your love should be as pure as money's love that you experienced because your path is love and you have been shown how to walk that path. Then I ask him, why do you test me so? Now, this will resonate with many. Why do you test me so? Because you are someone who loves to crack puzzles. You're stimulated by intellectual activity. You love to engage in a war with me and win. And so I let you enjoy what you love doing. If I was to simply give you instructions and expect that you would follow them, ha, look at your life. You always broke the rules that I set for you. You never ever wanted to do anything that I told you to do. You chose your own career, you chose the country, you fought with me for your freedom, and you loved it, that you won. You enjoyed each time that you won from me specially because you loved me the most. You ran away from me so that you could love even more. And then I ran away from you for the very same purpose. You were always surrendered. You stayed that way, but without any rules to bind you. No rules can bind you, and you don't need rules. Your surrender will keep you guided, and that will always stay. After all, that is your life purpose. This life, that one purpose. Oh, money. So, this is a message from 2018, which I didn't understand then, and I understand a lot more now. Now that it started to play out in a so much more bigger, more expansive way, that I can understand that when I was able to drop my little ambitions and I was able to take this path of just being in pure surrender, then what did I allow for myself to happen? I allowed for the entire universe to start playing in my favor. And how? And now that's what I teach you guys, right? That the universe is playing in our favor always in my frequency. And when you tune into this frequency, the surrender comes to you, the understanding of surrender comes to you on the minute one. Well, this is the minute one for those who haven't understood, but it's here, it's now. You were always surrendered. And that's what surrender looks like at all times. Emptying your pot looks like surrender. Being in equanimity looks like surrender. Unconditional love looks like surrender. Everything is just surrender, surrender, surrender. And now we start the meditation. So just a deep breath in, and this meditation on surrender. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And a deep breath in and exhale. And as you exhale, pat your forehead, pat your forehead with your fingers on the third eye area and intent these lines. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. In Meenal's energies, all the answers coming to you with so much ease and so much grace. And now you can stop tapping and simply be. Be in joy. Let that joy of this beautiful energy that is just coming through your third eye, let that reach your lips. And now watch yourself smile. Come to this beautiful place of a smile. Relax your eyes. Let this beautiful energy reach your eyes. And relax. And now bring money. Bring money into your thoughts. As you think of him, he might appear to you in the body form or simply as a light, maybe as a ray, maybe as a beautiful sensation. In whatever form you want to imagine, imagine the presence of money. And as you're able to imagine his presence, now watch yourself in the body. You in the body. You are watching yourself in the body. And watch that body simply surrender to money at money's feet. That body simply surrendering to money at money's feet. And you, not the body, but the observer of the body, you look at the body, and wherever you find some darkness, maybe some heaviness, maybe some weight, something that's not feeling right, something that's creating some friction within you. You watch those parts in the body, and now those body parts you surrender at money's feet. Simply at money's feet. Put those body parts there at money's feet. Money in the light form or in the body form or as a voice or a visual, whatever it is that you are comfortable with. Imagine that you are surrendering all that is causing this heaviness in you to money. And now put all your attention to the heart and you watch your heart grow and grow some more. It's growing. It's beating so beautifully. It's almost like it's going to explode. It's growing and it's expanding. this beautiful expansion of your heart, and you feel the love in your heart growing and glowing. You feel this beautiful love filling up your heart. You might even feel like your chest is about to explode, and that's okay. Simply allow this expansion of your heart. And now take this heart of yours and surrender to money. Put at his feet. And now take your attention to the mind. In your mind, whatever is your first thought, whatever is bothering you, it could be about you, it could be about somebody else. There would be thoughts that are top of your mind. And so take the first thought, that which is bothering you, and take that thought and surrender to money. Simply surrender that thought itself to money. If there is a person associated with your thought, and let us say that person, that actor is causing you sadness, then in this now, you take this sadness of yours and surrender to money. If there is someone who's caused you anger, bring that actor in your mind and look at your anger in your energy. And these thoughts of anger simply take and surrender to money. This anger now belongs to money. What will he do with this anger? Will he grow it and give it back to you tomorrow? If he does so, then be in gratitude because it's a gift from money. No more judging yourself for your anger because that anger is no longer yours. It belongs to money. That sadness that you gave away, if it ever appears the next time, accept it as a gift from money and then surrender it back to him. Back to him what he has given you with joy in your heart, because all that we do is accept all that he gives. In this beautiful place of acceptance, look at someone who might have hurt you and shown you all the places where you hurt yourself, all the places where you don't love yourself. And so, this place, this emotion of self hate right now, in this moment, surrender to money. Any emotion that is triggering you, you know what to do. Simply take that emotion, release it from the actors. The actors are simply actors. The emotion belongs to you. And in this moment, be happy in surrendering to money. This surrender for the now. And what will money do with this? We don't know, but we accept whatever comes our way. And now watch yourself as you watched money as an energy, as you watched money as a body. Create that same form for yourself. You as the energy or you as the body. And now watch. Watch the two of them become pure energy. Watch the forms disappear and become pure energy as your form looks into him and merges with him. Watch the merger. It is happening right now. There is you and there is money. And now you are merging with money. And now there is no you, only money, only money, only money, only money. You money, I money, money, money. Understanding in this moment that when you surrender to money, and in that moment, money surrenders to you. And so the surrendered becomes the surrendered to. And nothing exists except love, that is money. Om money. And whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes. And if you wish to stay in this place, then you simply disconnect right now and sit in silence for a little bit more.